Hey, welcome to my journey and to another weigh-in. Secondly, welcome to my porch. Yes, now I've got my little jacket on. I looked, it was 54 degrees, but honey, it's supposed to be 80 degrees today. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a beautiful day. I said, if we ain't going to get no snow, I just soon have spring come on, because that means we're going to get some garden planted. Cannot wait. So today, well, let's do my weigh-in, then we'll talk. I wasn't sure if I was going to get, I seriously was not sure if I was going to get on that scale this morning, or if I was going to wait a month, or the end of March, to make a, March, the month of March. And I get on them, so I got on them, and I weighed in at, let me turn it upside down, 268.8 for the loss of 1.2, and that puts me at 109.2. Now, it still makes me sad that it's not 130, but I ain't got nobody to blame but myself. I've eaten a little better this week. Not great. I've not tracked. Baby steps. That's what Susie said about my vegetables. Listen, I made vegetables for supper last night. It was good. David liked it too. I told him, I said, there are vegetables we like. I mean, obviously there are vegetables we like. It's just, it's not our first choice. We don't prefer them. We prefer beans and taters. That kind of thing. But the recipe will be up tomorrow morning. And it's really easy. And if you don't add the meat part, it's 0 points on Weight Watchers. Can't beat it with a stick. Super easy. So that is up tomorrow morning. But what was I going to tell you? We was going to talk about something. What was we going to talk about? And I said, oh, David and RJ went down this morning, because I was talking about the garden, to work on the shed. See, we own Holly's house and we own Terry's house. Terry's his sister that passed away. And on Terry's property is an old shed that's been there for, God, probably as old as we are. And it's fallen apart. It's just not been maintained over the years, but that's where the tractor stayed. And so he wants to rebuild it, but we don't have time for all that. We got to get the tractor up there. We got to start turning that field over. And he can't put the tractor in there until he can get it covered up, which you have the part of the back of it was busted in, caved in, whatever. So they're going to tarp it up, and we're just like scabbing it, I guess you'd say, is a good word, limping along until we can fix it after gardening season. But the door is messed up. It's a garage door on it. And so him and RJ went today to work on that. And then they got a tarp that'll cover the whole thing. And so after planting season and gardening's all over, then he's just going to rip the whole building down and rebuild it. Because it's sitting on a asphalt pad. And so we were wanting to put it down on Holly's property, but it makes more sense just to rebuild it where there's already a pad. And it's big enough to hold the tractor, the lawnmower we're giving Holly, the riding lawnmower we're giving Holly, a wagon we're going to buy her to put on the back of it, and the tiller. And oh my God, that tiller is humongous. I told him he might have to get one of them boys to till, because he'll turn the dirt over and everything, but he'll give tilling it to give it a fine, finer grind or whatever you want to call it. And he said it's self-propelled, so he should maybe be able to do that. I'm trying to tell him he's going to get that wrist surgery this fall, and he's like, I can't. He said, because as soon as garden's over, I got to worry about building a shed for the tractor and this next, maybe in 2 years. I'm like, I don't know. I said, honey, you can't live with it like it is. And he's adamant he's not going to do it this year. But now listen, they was up there working on it. They thought they was going to be able to fix it a different way, and turned out it's just in too bad of a shape to do what they wanted to do. And so Jacob was up there. Holly kept sending me snaps, and Papa was up there. He was pointing, and Jacob was standing beside of him, pointing up to the ceiling. And whatever Papa was saying, Jacob was saying, because he's a repeat box. He repeats everything you say. Everything. Then Papa got a tape measure, and he was measuring the ground, right? So he was measuring the ground, which was in, turn measuring the roof. And so Holly went and got Jacob one. And he went in there and he put it down, and he was measuring the ground where Papa was measuring the ground. So I told him, I said, now, he'll be back up there today because he'll want to see what you're doing. And you make sure and talk to him and let him help you and do whatever. So they was here yesterday, and Papa wasn't home yet. He had a rough night at work. Had a flat tire. Had to wait 2 hours for him to come up from the terminal to fix it. So that messed his night up. And then he had to go by and get some metal plates he had built for him. Forged. I don't know, what do you call it when you make something out of metal? It's just a metal shop that will make you anything out of metal that you want. Anything. So anyway, we heard him pull up, and we're like, Papa's home. That's what he does. And he started going for the front door, like, no, he'll come in the back door. And he starts repeating, Papa back door, Papa back door. So he was on the couch and he was watching. Well, we heard the outer door shut, and he knew he was coming in. So he stood there, Papa come in the door. I said, Papa, just on and on with his little language, whatever it is. And so he sat over there and ate some fruit with Papa at the table, and then Papa had to go out to the garage. He was checking something on the tractor, and Jacob says he was going to go with Papa. I said, you want to go out with Papa? Yeah. I said, all right, let's go. So he got his shoes on. He starts running for the door. I'm like, well, hold on a minute, I got to change my shoes. So I slipped out of my slippers into our old yard shoes that both of us wear, old Crocs. I mean, they're just about dry rotted. That's our yard shoes. If we both need them at the same time, I'm going to win, because they was mine. They're too big, but they're perfect for the yard. So we go out there. He walks around. He's over there with Papa. He's looking at the tractor. He's touching things, and he's getting greasy, because you get greasy in a garage. So I told him, I said, you want a tool to fix the tractor? He went over and told Papa he wanted a tool. So Papa gave him a wrench. Well, he went over there, y'all. He started fixing. I got some of the cutest pictures of him looking down up under it with that wrench, fixing stuff. He was just talking, and he was putting the wrench on everything, and he was fixing it, and then he got to sit up on it and push the brakes, which is the clutch, I found out. But when I told him to push the brakes, he went down there and he pushed the pedal, and oh my gosh, he had the best time in that garage. He loves to do what Papa does. He's a little sponge. He loves being outside. Holly told him again, she said, we're coming in to visit. We can't just come up here to play outside. We got to visit a little bit. So I got his attention by telling him I had him some new suckers. And he knew exactly what I was talking about. I said, I got you some new suckers. He went straight over there to his sucker jar, and he looked, and he found them. Listen, you can talk to that kid like you are talking to, as good as I'm sitting here talking to you. And he understands you. It's like Holly says, she'll say stuff to him that she can't even think of the words, and he knows what she's talking about. He is so, and I tell you this all the time, I don't say it just because he's my grandson. She said even people that she don't know would tell her, how does he know that? That's beyond his years. He shouldn't know that. And we're like, yeah, we've been saying that his whole life. He's always done things that are beyond the time that he should be doing them. Well, Holly was that way. She was smart and advanced. And even I told David, I said, well, they even told you when you were born a little man, because he's just come out half grown. So it's in the bloodline. He's gonna be something. If he sticks with it and he appreciates his education, he's gonna be something. Sebastian is smart. He was above his years. Look at his daddy. His daddy's smart. His daddy's very intelligent. So, Noelle, super smart. Me and Mama talked about the grandbabies. We had smart grandbabies, and here, her great grandbabies, which are my grandbabies, are the same way. We just have, and I kind of like say toot toot, but me and my brother are smart. I feel like I get dumber as I get older. I think it's because my memory goes. And they say use it or lose it. And I don't use my smarticle particles. That's what Holly called them when she was in little school. She says, I'm using my smarticle particles. We actually said that the other day. Jacob was using his smarticle particles. So I don't always use mine. But we had a good day yesterday. Oh my gosh. And as soon as she took him out, he went straight for Papa's car door, and she had to pick him up and carry him to the car. So, Jones in South Carolina for the track meet. I don't know. I didn't ask her. I didn't message her this morning because after driving, 12 hours yesterday, I figured they might want to sleep in, and I wasn't going to bother her. I don't know if they was going to the beach, going to try to see the beach while they were there, because the track meet's tomorrow, so they got all day today to do whatever it is they want to do. I couldn't get that close and not go. She told me, she said, when I come up there, they were going to take me to the shore, and I better not call it the beach. I said, I'm calling it the beach. They go to the shore, we go to the beach. That's how it is. There's so many differences in New Jersey and North Carolina. It is just so many differences. I told her, I said, now, you're going to be here, y'all going to be slick. We just going to be our old selves. She don't care. I told her yesterday, I said, well, I really should be up dusting, lest you think I'm a slob. I said, but I ain't. She said, stop it. Don't you worry about that. I was like, I told her, it's the truth. I used to be anal about my house cleaning when I was younger. I mean, I would get, when I lived in my trailer, it had the, and I would do it here, but I can't get on my knees real good right now. I got on them to get up when I fell, but I'm not on them enough to crawl around. But I would get on my hands and knees and clean my kitchen floor with a scrub brush, because it was like a textured floor and I couldn't stand it. So I would periodically get down on my hands and knees and scrub that floor with a scrub brush. I kept my house clean. I mean clean. And as my health went down, it got less and less because I could do hardly anything. My health was so bad at one point. It was, I was having to ride the little shopping carts, the little motorized shopping carts, because I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. It was terrible. I was in such worse shape then than I am now, and I'm older. So then that got slack. I started doing less, and then it's like the less you do, you get into that routine of not being that way, and it's hard to get yourself back into the routine of being a really good housekeeper. Anything that you stop doing and you stop doing it for a long period of time, it's hard to bring yourself back. It's just like these stupid diets we're on. We get off track and it's harder to get back on, I said, than it is when you first start. I believe that. Oh my gosh, a beautiful cardinal right here on my gravel driveway right in front of my car. Oh, y'all, hold on, I just got to look. Oh, he's beautiful. They don't normally come down there. They're normally up in the trees. I wonder who it is. I think it's Momo. That's what I've always said when I see a cardinal. It's Momo. When I see butterflies, it's Noelle. Last summer, I saw a butterfly. I can't get to my parking place because we got a big muddy mess back there. Dave's got to haul some gravels in, or the rollback ain't. We'll get there and get the tractor to haul it down yonder. Because Dave's got a trailer, but that tractor is, oh, you couldn't put on that trailer. It is 400,000 million pounds. And you know that's a real number. So I've been having to park here in the front or in front of his truck, but he took his truck today, but the truck and the trailer's in my spot. Well, last summer I was able to park there, and a butterfly was out there as I was leaving to run some errands. And I kid you not, when I came back, that butterfly was still out there in the same spot. And I just got out. I got tears in my eyes. I'm like, did you wait on me? Talking to Noelle, did you wait on me? It was just, oh my gosh. Yeah. So you know what I've been doing this morning? I've been working on Spotify. Putting new songs that I have. Right now I'm listening to my 70s playlist. I have what I call a rockin' playlist. I have a bunch of playlists. And then I have a driving playlist. And I have a disco and dance playlist. And all kind of different playlists. But right now I want to have a Post Malone playlist. But right now I'm in my 70s. I'm just feeling my 70s vibes, right? So I'm back in there and I'm pulling up like I started at 1979, Billboard Hot 100. And I went through that playlist and I'm like, oh, I didn't think about this song. I didn't think about that. I added, oh my gosh, I must have added 40 songs this morning, songs I forgot about, but that take me back to the 70s. Some of them take me back to my great aunt right down the road across where Uncle Eddie used to live, that driveway. They lived at the end of it. And I grew up down there a lot. She kept me when Mama worked for a period of time, her and my great uncle. Foofy and Daddy Doc. I cannot remember who called her Foofy. Her name was Ruth, but it came out Foofy. I guess somebody couldn't say Ruth. And and Daddy Doc. Daddy Doc, now, he treated me like a grown-up. He took me, and I mean, I was a responsible kid, so he took me out because there's a gravel driveway out in front of their little house, and she had a basement, and I helped her wash clothes because she had one of them wringer machines. So I would go down and help her wash clothes. I mean, I'm just a child, and they treat me like a grown-up and let me do grown-up things. So I would go down in the basement and run clothes through the wringer wash. She's the one that taught me how to sew. She taught me to sew my own Barbie doll clothes. So I would sit there and sew in it was in the little kitchen, and that's where I had to use the outhouse and the slop bucket because she didn't have an indoor toilet until, oh my gosh, I must have been an adult before she got an indoor toilet. I can't remember. I had to be. So I grew up doing that, and Daddy Doc, he would take me out, cut up tin cans, and put fire under them, and let me cook beans with a little fire going under the tin can out in the gravel driveway. He made me a slingshot. He wheeled me a slingshot, which I had to this day, and I will not use it because I don't want it to break. Pitched horseshoes. I growed up pitching horseshoes. They had the garden down the hill, growed up gardening. Gosh, good times, I'm telling you what. And I would lay in her bed, and she would be playing the radio, and songs like America, the band America, those kind of songs would come on. So it was the early 70s, and golly, listening to them songs this morning, they took me back, right back there in their house. God, it is amazing what a song can do to you. It can take you away back to places, things that you haven't thought about maybe in years, and then you hear that one song and you're like, oh my gosh, shut your eyes and you can just transport yourself back into that same spot, and it is wonderful. And then there's songs that remind you of things that you're like, yeah, I might want to forget that. Songs that remind you of old boyfriends. You think there's songs remind smells. Smells remind me of things. I still don't have my Candid Avon perfume. I think they still sell it. I still don't have it. When I was in high school, I drove my mama's Ranchero. I would take her to work and then drive to school, and then I'd go pick her up when it's time to pick her up, because that I didn't have to ride the bus that way. And I had my Candid perfume and it wasn't the spray kind. It was the perfume. You had to doing all that. Well, I spilled it in that Ranchero, and I don't know if that smell ever came out of that carpet. So when I smell Candid, it will forever take me back to high school, driving that Ranchero and smelling Candid. So yeah, I gotta get some. Gotta get some. So anyway, I don't know what else we'll talk about. What else we gonna talk about today? Now, I know some of y'all is just real excited. Joan and Doug will be here Saturday. It's supposed to rain, but they backed it down to now just sunny and kind of maybe partly cloudy. I don't know. But knock on wood, it's not supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain Friday, but it's not supposed to rain Saturday, which is good because she wants to go downtown. So we're going to go downtown. And I told her we'd walk in the rain, because the rain was not going to stop my fun. We was going to go do our things. Even if we got soaking wet, we was going to do our things. So we're going to go downtown, and I think she wants to go to the fish camp. And she told Doug, she said, I think I want to go to the fish camp. He says, what the hell is a fish camp? She said, I think it's some sort of restaurant. I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. It's a restaurant where you eat fish. I said, they sell broiled, because I don't know if she's ever had fried fish like we eat down here. Well, she does. She eats seafood. They go when they went to Myrtle Beach. There's a restaurant down there when they go that they like. But I don't know if they eat the fried kind or just the broiled kind. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of fish they eat. Like I eat catfish strips, and David eats flounder. And sometimes we'll get popcorn shrimps. So I don't know what kind of seafood they'll eat there. But I told them they have broiled if that's what they want. I told her she could have some okra. She said she would pass. I'm like, I'm to myself. I'm ordering okra as my side instead of a baked potato, french fries, or anything else. And she's going to taste it. They going to taste the okra. Joan, I know you're not watching this because you're busy, but come Saturday when we go to eat, you are trying okra. I have spoken. That's what I used to do to my kids. I would say something and I would think, I have spoken. And they knew that was the end of the discussion. You didn't even try no more. Then they got the word, they would say, Mama has spoken. Like, yeah, listen. There was one time, Holly, we was going somewhere, her and her little girlfriends, they was in middle school, intermediate school, something like that. And they was wanting to do something. Well, I done said either I'd think about it or no, one of the two. And her little friend kept asking and kept just nagging me about it. And I was getting irritated. And Holly told her, I heard her in the back, she goes, the more you ask and talk about it, the more she's going to say no. So you might as well stop. Like, baby girl knows her mama. Keep on about it, and I'm done. Listen, I'm one of these parents, grandparents. If I tell you no one time, that should be enough. I shouldn't have to say it again. Now, Jacob, he's young. He knows what no means, but, if he still tries or whatever, he's still learning. Sebastian, he knows. My children knew. Mama said no, it was no. If I said I'll think about it, then that's what it meant. It meant I'll think about it. So, I don't know if I was I was a strict mom, but not a strict mom. So I'm watching my cousin. She's in there hollering, telling her to come on. I'm telling you, that's why you have to watch how you talk. Because everybody around here can hear your business. People don't need to know my business. So, yeah, I don't know if I was a strict mom or I wasn't lax, but I wasn't so strict. I don't want to say my kids were scared of me, but they respected me. I was their mama, and they knew it, and they knew when I said something, I meant it. So, but I had good kids. I didn't have to get on to them much. I'll tell you one thing. You let Holly's daddy look at her crooked, and she would cry. She could not take any kind of reprimand or anything from her daddy. I could stand there and probably scream at her for 2 days solid, and she would just, whatever. It wouldn't affect her emotionally. Not that she'd ever show me, but let her daddy just look at her crooked. And there it went. Bless her heart. She got emotional yesterday because we were talking about him getting his wrist done, how he said he wasn't going to do it, all this and that. And she said, I'll talk about it, I'm going to cry. She said, but I know he's doing all this work for me because I said I want the garden. He's doing it for me. And she said, he'll do anything for me. He always has. I said, yes, he will, honey. And so she got real emotional about that. I thought it was sweet. And I told David, I said, Holly got emotional thinking about what you're doing for her. He said, oh, yeah. Talking about he will do anything for his children. And he considers RJ his child because RJ's daddy blew him off. And David was the only daddy he knew because his daddy was, let's don't talk about it. So he considers him his son. And if he talks out and about, he talks about my son, not just my daughter and my stepson, my son. So I think that's the way it should be. Well. Are we going to talk about anything else? I'm trying to think. I'm getting these little wildflowers in my... Oh, did I tell... I just looked down there and seen a dandelion. Did I tell y'all the first dandelion I seen, I got a little emotional because every spring I would always come out and start, as soon as the dandelions popped up, I'd come get them for Claire because she hadn't had them all winter long. So I'd come out and get them for her because she loved dandelions about more than she loved bugs. She snatched them things out of my hands. And so even now, I'm coming out and I'm seeing these dandelions. I'm thinking, oh, I need to pick them dandelions. I don't need to pick them dandelions. But I got these little purple flowers over here. I got little white flowers, just little wildflowers that look pretty in the yard. So, well, I don't know what I'm going to do today. There's a little bitty bird. I love the birds. I know they're loud, but I think they're beautiful. I actually think they might be louder to y'all than to me sitting here in person, I think. But unless I stop and think about it, I don't really hear them. And then I'll hear them when I'm editing. I'm like, oh, okay, I hear the birds. But the traffic's louder than anything. And we've not had much today, have we? I guess everybody's in school and everybody's in work. That kind of coming out a little bit later helps. But of course, there goes a car. Well, I think that's all I know. Was there anything else I was going to tell y'all? I declared my soul. I got a Dollar Tree haul coming up Saturday. Oh, I got that recipe coming up tomorrow, and I got my Dollar Tree dinners coming up Sunday. So I tried to get some videos filmed ahead and get them scheduled because we're going to be busy this weekend. So I guess that's all I know. I'm looking around, thinking. My yellow bell bush is blooming. Listen, I said I wasn't going to talk about him. I'm going to tell you this one thing. He come out there one time when my mama lived here and cut that yellow bell bush down to the nub. That thing used to be huge. I mean, huge. Cut it down to the nub. He got drunk. That's the kind of stuff we live with. It's not big now because he went out there and whacked around on it since we had it. What I wouldn't give for some nice neighbors that I could know and trust, and like if I needed to tell them something, they would actually talk to you. They would, the ones across the street won't even wave at you. I waved at them years ago, and they just did this number. I'm like, y'all must not be from around here, because around here, these parts, we wave. We wavers. Southern people is wavers. I know that man over there, but I don't know them. I don't know them. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to her. Don't know them. Don't know them. My cousin's down yonder. Don't know them. I know the people behind me, but they're way on back there behind me. I wouldn't get up to them because I'd have to walk up on the street. So, yeah, we just stuck down here on our little corner by ourselves. No neighbors, nobody to talk to, nobody sit on the porch with, nobody to have coffee with. But then in the same boat, nobody come knocking on my door bothering me. Listen, that's another thing. The more you're alone, the more you want to be alone. So you kind of get yourself, where did my birdies go? You kind of get yourself, oh my gosh, it's about this big. Oh, you can't even always see him. He blends. Oh, there's another one. They're so tiny. They must be, okay, he just come out of, I couldn't tell if that's a nest. Oh my gosh. So dang cute. But I think the more you, now there's a female cardinal. You know, they're not the pretty ones, but that might be his mate. The red ones are the males, the pretty red ones. But it's like the more you do something, the more you want to do it, or the more you turn into it. So that goes along the lines of what you tell children. That's what they're going to be. You tell somebody something long enough, oh, that's the mate, because there he is. She's down there on the ground, and he's up here on the limb above her. No, listen, I love that because we get cardinals right here. I wish I could have this window open so I could see them when I sit in my chair, but the way my house is, and I don't open curtains, and I can't really get to them over the furniture because my little living room is small. It's not big at all. And it used to be, that was the living room, and the kitchen was like a galley style, just small. And then on the other side of it was like a den. But when we tore the house out and rebuilt it, I wanted all one big open area. So we just used the front as our main living room, and then the whole section of the galley kitchen and the den as the kitchen and the dining area. So, now the big room Mama had as a living room, and just a big old room. But now it's just a junk room. It's just storage. And honestly, I like going to the big room to get something and store something more than I would like going out to the building. And I got like my appliances down there. I got shelves with my appliances, so they don't clog up the counter when I need them. They're not taking up space in the counters and with cabinets, which I don't have. And so Holly was asking me yesterday, she said, where you going to put your canned foods? I'm like, I don't know. I said, I guess I'll have to move because David thought he was going to get the room done. So he ripped up, Mama had paneling. He ripped off the paneling, so it's a mess down there. It just looks terrible. and we just got like uh what's that stuff called? Insulation and black paper, plastic over it. So it's cold. I mean, it's cold because it's right there on the outer wall. I'm like, well, I don't want to put my jars there because that's too cold. So I guess I'll move the appliance um, shelves against the wall and then put the canning jars, foods, against the brick wall, which was the outside of the house because it was a carport, and now it's just the wall on the other side of the kitchen. So that's and it gets cold down there in the winter, but I don't think it gets too cold. I mean it's heated and it don't get toasty warm, but I don't think it gets too cold for the food. And she says she got to clean her garage out. She said every time she goes down there and cleans it out, she ends up shoving more stuff in there. I got a bunch of stuff down here to donate. I ain't got to it yet. I guess I'll get to it one day. So anyway, yeah, I guess I've given on enough. So tune in for the next few days, watch little videos, and prepare. I think we're going to do our vlog together on Tuesday instead of Monday. She's going to do a separate vlog because you know she vlogs every weekend, so she's going to do a separate one for her weekend and then a separate one for us. And so we'll have ours up on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure that's how we're going to do it. So be sure and stay tuned. Now I'm planning on Good Little Wheel and Creek Don't Rise doing a live tomorrow at 1. So if you want to come to that, come to that. Otherwise, I'll see you on all these videos I mentioned. And so have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you later. I just about forgot. I wanted to show you some Happy Mail I got right quick. It's from Brandy Marks. She is my magazine connection. But check these out. These little Halloween bags. Look at those. You know I'll be using those. Look. Oh, isn't that cute? He's got his little pail with him. I see it. And then this is a Pillsbury Holiday cookbook. And then the rest of these are all magazines. She sends me all her magazines. And she never tells me. I'll just get a random box on the porch. I'm like, what in the world? It's Brandy. She never tells me she's going to send it. She just sends it. So I get regular magazine boxes from her. She's my hookup. So thank you, Brandy. I appreciate it as always. I truly do. So now that will be the end of the video.